This is an installation that we have just completed at a church in Ripon. Put in two new DB Technologies IG4Ts, and they are wired underneath the floor and back to a X32 that resides into this equipment rack right here. And we'll just open that up real quick. And that is their existing X32 compact. So sitting in there, we also put in video. So we ended up putting in a projector outlet here that picks up HDMI and also VGA and goes into a Kramer scaler, and it extracts the audio out of the HDMI and feeds it to the mixer board. And this is also a full range system. So we do have on each side of the stage here, we have a RCF sub 9005 AS Mark II, which is amazing. And that is hardwired directly to the console through the underground floor conduits. And then over here on the other side, there is the second subwoofer. These guys are absolutely amazing. We ended up, and we'll pan up here, putting the speakers up on the wall here and securing those, and then fed them directly from the mixer board with a left, right, and a subwoofer feed through the underground conduits. We also installed a stage box. So we provided this stage box in a gator case. It is just a single S16 that connects AES 50 back over to the board so that they have 16 channels of inputs up on stage, as well as 8 returns, and we don't take up the mains or the subs output. For the cabling for the stage and their events, we put in some floor boxes. We put in 5 of these. They are made by Ace Backstage. So let's see if we can zoom in on this. Doesn't want to zoom. So we'll just go down and look at it. We have 4 XLR inputs and returns, and then there's also power in there. And then we ended up doing a little chart diagram inside the top lid on each one of them, so they know which stage box they are working with. And then also gave them these tail ends that we wired into each of the stage boxes. Those are by Rapco. These give them a quick and easy means to patch into the floor boxes, and the tails underneath the stage are 65-foot cables, so they can take these tails and run them to wherever they need to in the future. But everything on them is labeled channels 1 through 4. This happens to be channel 2, and then the returns on each of them are A and B, so it makes a pretty quick patching setup for them. We have labeled them so that they know what box that they go into, as far as all 5 of these cables up on the platform. So this is their kind of community gymnasium room, and this is the one of the floor pockets at the front, and then we'll just kind of pan over that we put another one in the center and then one over there. This is what we pulled out. It was old Electro Voice speakers that they had in this gymnasium, and made a particle board. These things are probably vintage 1970s. But there's the other floor box, and then we have this floor box that we just looked at here in the back, And then there is another floor box over here on this side, in the back as well. And as you can see, down inside there, power and all the outlets, and then the little chart that shows them what the connections are in each of the boxes. In this room, which is just a large multi-purpose room, as you can see, the ceiling is quite high. Gymnasium, they play basketball. We put the speakers on each side here in the front and lock them down. They are injection molded plastic, so if they hit them with a ball, not going to be an issue. There are locking pins in them, and they are secured to studs and framing into the wall. One of the other things that we ended up doing here as part of this install is the video projection system, and put in a 208-inch diagonal 16 by 10 screen. And then on the other side, across the wall, around the room, we ended up putting in a Vivitech 8,000 lumen laser phosphor projector that is 16 by 10 WUXGA native format up there on the wall. They are going to build a cage around it so that the kids don't bean it. And then we ended up installing the wireway and the signal and everything up to the projector off the back wall here. So as you can see with the screen, this particular screen being 208-inch diagonal, it does have some additional backdrop if they wanted to adjust it at some point to come down a little bit lower. But we have adjusted it at this point to stop pretty much right at the top of the black stage drape, so that if anybody's up on stage, it's not going to detract too bad from the performance or what's going on. We can drop it down another almost 3 feet from where it is currently positioned. And then the native format on the projector fills up that screen quite nicely. So we'll just do one more little panorama here of the room. They've got an overflow area that we did put some Eurocom speakers in and a separate amplifier that they can tie to the system and be able to send audio if there happens to be any overflow needs into that area. I'm trying not to pan too fast here with this thing in the room, but they do have kind of a community room, overflow room on each side. One more look at the projector. This thing in the room being 8,000 lumens, but the laser phosphor, the thing runs so cool. We've got it a couple inches away from the wall, but the amount of heat that it puts out is nothing compared to a traditional bulb projector, which 8,000 lumens would probably have been a 2-bulb type system that they would have had to utilize. So the IG4Ts with the 9005 subs sound just absolutely amazing. That they really kick butt. I was really quite impressed with the 9005 subs, being that they are 15-inch, but they've got a lot of power behind them, and they sound really, really good. A little boomy up on stage just because of the placement of where they are in the cavity underneath the stage there. But that is it. If you have any questions on this install, give us a call or a message or whatever here on Facebook. And any needs that you may have for commercial or houses of worship install, we do that and do that quite well. And so thank you for watching. This is Trinity Productions, trinityprosound.com.